Record state, Massachusetts. Location, the Freetown-Fall River State Forest, the heart of the Bridgewater Triangle. Subject, the Bristol County Livestock Mutilations, November 1978. If you pull the police blotters from Bristol County in the late 70s, you'll find a massive spike in property damage reports. Over the course of a single winter, dozens of local farmers woke up to find their livestock dead. Mostly cattle, a few horses. The official cause listed by the state police? Animal predation. Feral dogs, a bad season for coyotes. And when the local press got a hold of the story and started asking too many questions, the sheriff's department threw in a few bored teenagers acting out during the satanic panic. Neat, tidy, a perfectly rational explanation to keep a terrified county from locking their doors and loading their shotguns. But details matter in an investigation, and when you actually look at the crime scene photos gathering dust in the local archives, the feral dog theory falls apart faster than a wet paper bag. I've tracked coyotes across 3 time zones. I know how they hunt. They are scavengers and opportunists. They are vicious, and they are exceptionally messy. If a pack of feral dogs takes down a calf in the dark, the ground tells the story. You find torn earth, scattered remains, broken brush, and a massive biological mess. I'm looking at a Polaroid taken on a farm bordering the Hockomock Swamp, the morning of November 12, 1978. The subject is a full-grown Hereford cow. That's roughly 1,200 pounds of animal. According to the official police report, it was brought down by predators. But looking at the wide shot of the pasture, the tall grass around the carcass is completely undisturbed. There are no drag marks. There are no struggle lines in the dirt. There isn't a single canine track in the soft mud within 50 yards of the body. And then there's the blood, or rather, the complete lack of it. Biological physics dictate that a 1,200-pound mammal holds roughly 10 to 12 gallons of blood. You don't just spill 10 gallons of hot blood in a freezing Massachusetts pasture without leaving a stain. It pools, it splatters, it seeps deep into the soil. But the ground beneath this Hereford is completely dry. Not a single drop spilled. The animal was completely exsanguinated, drained dry. I'm reading the addendum from the agricultural veterinary autopsy. The official police report says predation, but the vet's notes tell a completely different, much colder story. Specific organs were removed: the eyes, the tongue, and the reproductive tract. But they weren't ripped out by a starving dog, and they weren't hacked out by a teenager with a hunting knife in the pitch black. The vet noted that the incisions were perfectly smooth, surgical. More importantly, the edges of the tissue were heat-cauterized, burned shut the split second the cut was made. That is how you remove an organ without spilling a single drop of blood into the dirt. The history books say feral dogs and teenagers terrorize the Freetown State Forest. But looking at these cauterized, bloodless incisions, that's a hell of a pocket knife. Coyotes will take a calf in the dark, but they don't carry scalpels, and local kids don't lug industrial surgical lasers through a frozen swamp. Whatever took these animals is still out there in the triangle, and it didn't use teeth.